Hello and welcome to CricketNext YouTube channel. And you're joining us early in the morning after the first session at Brisbane, India versus Australia. The third test, Australia 76 runs they scored in this session with a loss of 3 wickets. So you could say it was an evenly matched session after most of the first day was rained out. The opening day only 12.3 overs were able to be bowled. Australia started there at 38 for 0, but Jasprit Bumrah once again coming into India's rescue and taking 2 wickets. But after that, it has been a struggle for Team India. Not that India bowled that badly, but there were spells where you could see that you hope that India would have bowled slightly better. To discuss what happened in that first session on day two, I have with me Jamie Alter, usual suspect. Jamie, good morning to you. And as I mentioned, 78 runs, 3 wickets. It's a session that you could say was evenly matched.
Yeah, good morning, Vinny. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's even. I think 76 runs, 3 wickets. You would have thought maybe one or two more, but again, you expect the Aussies to come in and show some spine. Especially Steve Smith under fire, like Virat Kohli. He's had a. In fact, he's probably had a worse time in recent matches. So the Australian public, the Australian media, they've sort of been getting after Steve Smith, asking questions. We've seen the amount of column space that their newspapers and their websites are giving to. That's a fantastic picture, by the way. Yeah, so you just thought maybe one more, but how good is it to see that man Bumrah come and do the job not once, twice? Akashdeep, very, very, very impressive. But can we just get Travis head out, someone, please?
That's true. Travis Head remains a big headache for India. And on that note, welcome Taos also. Early morning. Good morning. Must have had your early coffee as well. So yeah, we were discussing Taos. It's an evenly matched session, so to speak. But एक चीज मेरे को लगा, Jamie, this I'll come to you also later. But Taos, just a thought on you कि Bumrah, expected to get a couple of wickets away. He was bowling like man possessed, and that's what it is. Hitting that right length, hitting that angle more than the length. I think the angle with which he is now getting those wickets, coming in, and then the ball straightens for the right-handers. It becomes very difficult for them to play. On the other hand, Jamie also mentioned Akashdeep and how tidy he was. But for me, I thought Akashdeep was not bowling to the stumps. Batsmen were. It was easy for the batsman to leave the deliveries rather than forcing him to play. Even though no, not much. He didn't give away much. There was not much of loose deliveries, so to speak. But then again, you would have expected on Akashdeep, because he came in for a particular skill set that he has to bowl up front and get the swing. He bowled a tad too short and just slightly wide of the fourth stump. Do you think?
Good morning, guys. I agree with you in that aspect, yeah, Vineet. One aspect that he was bowling beautifully. I mean, he was beating the bat, and the only thing was like you can't expect a bowler. I mean, coming to Australia for the first time and getting no matches in the first two games, and suddenly you ask him to bowl on the stumps. I mean, obviously it's basics, but then bowlers tend to get carried away when you bowl in Australia. So he might be trying his luck, thinking that the ball is bouncing. I mean, the way Travis Head was seen, he was seen struggling against the two batters. He was just trying to put the bat out there. Steve Smith as well, and Bumrah took the charge completely. I mean, how much and how many times he will have to, take the pressure, the burden. When will the other bowlers come up? But that's the story throughout so far in Australia. But yeah, I agree. Beneath that aspect, कि यार थोड़ा stumps पे रखता, he could have got successful at least a couple of wickets. But I think this still, even though they've got 3 wickets, this session belongs to Australia in a certain way, because the way wicket is behaving, the way it's pitching, there is bounce on the wicket, there is pace because of the tinge of grass on it. I think Australia will be breathing a bit easy. 25 of 68. Steve Smith, somebody who was struggling, is getting back to form. And Travis Head, as usual, even though he struggles on front foot, but he tackles. That's how Indian batters should do. Even if you're struggling, you have to put the bat on the ball, at least try to survive. Then you'll get your runs automatically. I agree with that aspect. He should bowl on stumps, but ठीक है, सीख रहा है यार. 2 मैच मिस आउट किया है लड़के ने. अब वो धीरे धीरे स्ट्रीमलाइन होगा, धीरे धीरे उसको पता चलेगा यार स्टम्प्स पे डालना है, नहीं डालना है,
राइट,
अब सीख लेगा.
बिल्कुल सीख लेगा. एंड जेमी, एक चीज ये भी एस्पेक्ट ये है कि स्टंप्स में डालने की तो हम बात कर रहे हैं, मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वियर्ड, नॉट काइंड ऑफ वियर्ड, द स्टांस दैट स्टीव स्मिथ वाज टेकिंग. ही वाज शफलिंग अक्रॉस अ लॉट, मतलब लेग स्टंप, मिडिल स्टंप से ऑलमोस्ट ही वाज कमिंग टू दैट ऑफ स्टंप. दैट कुड आल्सो वन ऑफ द रीजंस वेयर यू कुड सी कि यार बॉलर का भी थोड़ा रिदम वहां पे चेंज हो जाता है कि नाउ दे आर थिंकिंग द गाय इज शफलिंग अक्रॉस द लॉट कि मैं थोड़ा इधर आ जाऊं. इस वजह से भी वो हो रहा है. एंड अगेन, आई मीन, वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट स्टीव स्मिथ हियर. यू डिड मेंशन हाउ ही इज बीन स्ट्रगलिंग, एंड लेकिन अपने अपने तरीके से कुछ ना कुछ वो नुक्से निकाल ही लेते हैं. आज दिख रहा था वो नुक्से निकल ही रहे थे. 2-3 बार ऐसे रहे, ही रोड हिज लक कंप्लीटली, ये तो है ही है. कपल ऑफ डिसीजंस दैट कुड हैव गॉन हिज वे, कपल ऑफ हैंड आई कोऑर्डिनेशन बच गए थे. बट देन अगेन स्टीव स्मिथ ट्राइंग वेरी हार्ड, एंड दैट कुड हैव आल्सो अनसेटल्ड समबडी लाइक एन आकाशदीप, यू थिंक?
Yeah, it's possible because I mean, even yesterday we discussed he had 3.2 overs, like 2 maidens, 2 runs, but he was not bowling the ball on the stumps as much. Maybe like Tausbai said, it is that first spell in Australia where he'll take some time. But again, he gave the most control. He didn't look like getting wickets, but he gave control, and that's the reason why I've been saying he should be playing. He should be playing every match because you don't know which version of Mohammad Siraj is going to show up. You tried Harshit Rana, one good match. I'm not for a second suggesting that he's done as a test bowler. I think he'll play for many, many years to come. But you learn, and Australia can be a very steep learning curve. So again, just from what we saw of Akashdeep in India, the only thing missing was that one wicket. He's bowled 2 spells. He
Yeah.
hasn't got a wicket. But बहुत time है इस match में. I'm hoping the rain stays away. And for all we know, Akashdeep might have 3 wickets by the time Australia are bowled out. But you have to find a way to get Travis Head. Steve Smith will fidget. He'll look ugly. He'll do what. But I just don't see him as big a threat as Travis Head because तो या तो खुद Steve Smith अपने out को out करेंगे, as you said, he'll contort his body. We've seen him get caught down the leg side, which is why that one time when he first came, the ball brushed his thigh pad through to Pant. You saw Jasprit Bumrah get a bit animated because he's gotten him out like this before. But I'm not too concerned about Smith because Smith को बहुत लंबी batting करनी पड़ेगी to get to a dangerous position for India. Travis Head, however, he's 20 something right now. 3-4 boundaries after the lunch break, and he might be on 45 and then 50 before you know it. So, and let's face it, India have always struggled to get him out. I was seeing the stats yesterday across formats. Iska jo average hai, against each bowler. So, just find a way to get him out. You don't get him out. Akashdeep or Nitish Reddy. Look how Nitish Reddy got Marnus Labuschagne.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was a Virat Kohli level of frustration wicket. मैं नहीं मारूंगा हाँ लेकिन मैं मारूंगा. The moment he went for that drive, the catch went there. So I don't know. I'm actually not too concerned about Smith. I don't think he's going to run away to a big score. But that Travis Head guy,
Travis
man,
Head. और
find a way.
that is I think, जेमी, वो भी एक चीज होता है जिस तरीके से आप खेलते हो. Both Labuschagne और स्मिथ हैं, they were trying to leaving the ball, they were out of form, लेकिन वो उनके में वो एक नर्वसनेस आपको दिख रहा था ताउस कि वो नर्वस हैं. they are trying to bide their time. ओल्ड स्कूल जो होते हैं ना कि बॉल्स खेलो, देखो, उस हिसाब से करो. नीतीश रेड्डी का भी अगेंस्ट रन ऑफ प्ले काइंड ऑफ आया था कि वो एक स्पेल था 2-3 ओवर का कि वो बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक लग रहे थे, सॉलिड इन द डिफेंस एंड एवरीथिंग. जैसे ही एक बाहर की बॉल आई लबुस्काग्ने को, थोड़ा सा वो एक ग्रीडीनेस आ गया एंड ही जस्ट वेंट फॉर इट. वेरी अगेंस्ट रन ऑफ द प्ले विकेट. ऑन द अदर हैंड हेड के साथ ये हो रहा है कि वो थोड़ा अग्रेसिव अप्रोच दिखा रहे हैं. ही इज ट्राइंग टू गेट ऑन टू दैट इंडियन बॉलर्स, चाहे वो सिराज हो, चाहे इवन फॉर बुमराह फॉर दैट मैटर. ऐसा नहीं कि वो बिल्कुल रुक के खेलने की कोशिश करे. सो दैट इल्यूजन और दैट काइंड ऑफ एक ऑरा जो बना देता है हेड और एनी काइंड ऑफ एग्रेसिव बैट्समैन, उसमें भी आपको लगता है कि नहीं यार ये थोड़ा डेंजरस लग रहा है एज कंपेयर टू लबुस्काग्ने और स्मिथ जो लंबा खेलने का और रुक के खेलने का, वो स्ट्राइक रोटेशन नहीं करने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो
Actually, the beautiful part of that Labuschagne wicket, apart from the Siraj switch and then he switching again to make that point, he bowled well. I mean, Nitish bowled full. I mean, he invited him to drive, and that is what works. I mean, we were talking about how pitching up is important. Pitching up is something, it gives you an opportunity. I mean, even if you saw Travis Head, I mean, this guy was pitching up, Bumrah was pitching up. He pitched one ball to Usman Khaja across that angle. He created an angle. He got caught behind, so that was almost pitched up. So that is one aspect that I think Siraj is missing out on something, or maybe Akash is trying. He's putting it ahead and then pulling it back. Stumps pe nahi aa rahe. But if you see Travis Head, he may be attacking that one odd ball, but he enjoys playing that square on back foot. जहां पर आपने पिच अप किया वो ओपन अप हो जाता है और वो एज करके या निकाल लेता है, या तो एक थिक आउटसाइड एज या थिक इनसाइड एज. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि ट्रेविस हेड इज कंप्लीटली एंजॉयिंग हिज डे राइट नाउ. आई थिंक ही वाज आल्सो thinking like, thanks to the wicket, these guys are troubling him. I mean, there is some issue going around in his head. Ki, yaar, how to tackle them? If I survive, I might get runs. But then he's not as dominating as how he's been in the past. Obviously, I would credit the wicket for it, the beauty of wicket. So, अगर Travis Head जैसा बंदा इनडिसाइसिव हो रहा है, वेदर मैं फ्रंट फुट पे कंफर्टेबली ड्राइव मारूं या बैक फुट पे बॉल स्क्वायर कट के करने के टाइम बॉल ऊपर से जा रहा है और ऋषभ पंत के ऊपर से ही इज गेटिंग कैचिंग द बॉल above his head, means that our batters will also find it difficult to play, yaar, because I think it's fun, it's a challenging wicket to bat on. Steve Smith
Yeah,
is
of course. Brisbane का
yeah.
हमेशा से challenging रहता है, and as you, I mean, there's history that as and when the match goes on, it becomes even more trickier, not difficult per se, but trickier in terms of both with the bounce and with the pace as well. I mean, थोड़ा बहुत lack of pace भी देखा था Jamie. I mean, the ball, there were a couple of deliveries that did not carry as well, couple of edges जो थे बिल्कुल सामने ही कर गए थे, so that would be tricky. But quite interesting, one of the comments that we have got from Kapil Dhingra, who joined us earlier yesterday as well. Thank you, Kapil, for joining in. He says, good morning, guys. When do you think Jadeja will be introduced into the attack? Who's the two bowlers you would pick to bowl to head? Jadeja to head. Interesting. Jamie, you would think that's one thing that they may want to try out with his, quick snotters there, maybe, or they'll stick to that conventional route of trying with the Pacers. And also short ball भी ज़्यादा try नहीं किया है Travis Head के against the series में.
Yeah, pata nahi. I think the short ball one only sort of somehow worked during that WTC final. I would not try to bowl too short to him right now because Akashdeep ka skill nahi hai short ball डालना. Jasprit Bumrah could do it now and then, but his workload means that he shouldn't be trying anything out of the ordinary. So interesting from Kapil to suggest that Jadeja, but it depends where are you going to use him. If you want to use him, maybe start immediately after the lunch break for 2 overs, but then in those 2 overs, see what kind of shots is Travis Head attempting. I would still go for Akashdeep and hope, because he's got a very good record against the left-handers. I would hope that he starts to improve upon what we've been discussing already in this show, start to get him to play a bit more, because Travis Head, he's not a हाँ चलो आज वो एक दो लीव किए, but he's not a guy who likes to leave. He's come back so strong in his second or third coming. I don't know how many times he's got. I think it's his third chance as an Australian player. 18-19 में आए थे वापस. He just not looked back. So you want to see what kind of bowler is going to make him play the shots, but make him play the shots maybe a little quicker than somebody else. So I'd be tempted to try Jadeja, but आपको 2 ओवर के अंदर आपको मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि Travis Head किस mood में है. Maybe he gets beaten on the cut once, maybe he gets beaten on the drive once. Just be very, very careful. That garden में घूमेंगे, that थोड़ा chilled out captaincy is not going to work now. You're going to have to be willing to take off a bowler after 1 over, 2 overs if he's not. I'm not saying if he's not bowling well or he's looking bad, but if he's not making Travis Head look somewhat awkward, because he's the danger man. Somebody will find a way to get Smith out, or Smith will find a way to get himself out. But मुझे बहुत इस बंदे का डर लग रहा है, because like Tosbhai mentioned, he's had to struggle for a bit, and that's probably made him feel a little uncomfortable. या तो उसकी ego पे भी लगी होगी. But yeah, post lunch, if the sky is clear, if the pitch days 2 and 3 are going to be the best for batting, अगर Travis Head ने best batting conditions का फायदा लिया ना, बहुत भारी पड़ेगा ये यार, ये
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, एंड
नहीं,
द सन इज आल्सो कमिंग आउट। ओवरकास्ट कंडीशंस, बारिश है बट द सन इज आल्सो पिकिंग आउट, तो बैटिंग कंडीशंस तो हो गई होगा। एंड ऑन दैट टॉपिक इटसेल्फ, ताउस भाई, उस पे ही एक्सटेंड करते हुए कि जडेजा कितनी जल्दी आ सकते हैं या नहीं, देयर इज अ कंसर्न फॉर इंडिया कि मोहम्मद सिराज वेंट बैक to the pavilion. He had some injury issues या निगल, हमें अभी तक exactly पता नहीं लगा है क्या है, but he was holding his knee, so could be the landing में कोई trouble हुआ, कुछ हुआ होगा। Trouble for India that Siraj kind of bowler again, head versus Siraj, वो सब तो है, the kind that delivery that he bowled to Steve Smith, जो ball बिल्कुल अंदर आ गई थी, बाल बाल बचे थे Smith। Again, as Jamie and I have mentioned कि थोड़ा hot and cold blow तो जरूर करते हैं Siraj, but that would be a big blow if he doesn't come back, or that could prompt Rohit Sharma to get in Jadeja earlier than expected.
possible, but the best time I think जेमी भाई ने बोला ही है कि जडेजा is quickly just लंच के बाद ही, क्योंकि there is no say of spinner for spinners right now. I mean, you have seen hardly they've used Nathan Lyon, hardly they've used Ashwin or maybe Washington Sundar, and I don't think so spinners are going to be as effective. Yeah, one एक experiment के लिए it wouldn't be a bad idea. क्योंकि बॉल अभी भी यार it's still bouncing well, there is some swing, there is, if you pitch up, these guys are struggling. तो सिराज का, आई मीन, विकेट्स तो नहीं है, रन्स भी थोड़ा ज्यादा कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, बट फैक्टर तो रहेगा क्योंकि ही इज द थर्ड पेसर, सेकंड पेसर अगर हम ऑर्डर में देखेंगे तो वो एक माइनस हो जाएगा, बिकॉज यू नीड सम रेस्ट फॉर जसप्रीत बुमराह एंड आकाशदीप ना, तो क्योंकि यू कांट आस्क बुमराह टू कीप ऑन बॉलिंग फ्रॉम वन एंड after another. I mean, even he was somewhere trying. He was in the pavilion in the before the couple of overs before the lunch, maybe trying to fix his shoes or ankle. I don't know. They were trying to put some tape on his shoes. तो whether वो टाइट रखने के लिए एंकल को या whether शूज को बराबर करने के लिए, आई डोंट नो व्हाट इट वाज, बट दोनों शूज में टेप लगाया था, उनके फिजियो था कि वो उनका क्या था, बट
I
या
think
आई थिंक
there
अगर
were a couple of fielding instances where he looked clumsy, Bumrah ना, थोड़ा clumsy सा fielding effort भी लगा था। It could be that, it could be that, nothing major, but yeah, सिराज के पे तो एक नजर रहेगी। We'll give you an update as soon as possible। अभी थोड़ा comments भी ले लेते हैं। Concussion सब our own Kanav Bali, he's on his way to a marriage, not covering the Border Gavaskar Trophy with us, says that pitch doesn't actually look tough one to bat on. Still a lot of runs for the taking. Marnus and Smith went into a shell. Head will not. India session, of course. I mean, हेड शेल में तो जाएंगे नहीं जिस तरीके से मार्नस और स्मिथ में थे। इंडिया सेशन और नॉट, एक विकेट और आता तो मे बी यू कुड हैव सेड इंडिया सेशन, बट इट इज एन इवनली मैच सेशन बिकॉज 76 रन्स वर स्कोर्ड, सो फेयरली डिसेंट आल्सो इन द मॉर्निंग सेशन। तो उस हिसाब से तो ठीक है ही है। We'll take now one more from Sports Fan, one of our regular viewers who join us. This one is for Jamie. What do you make of the pitch? What is the par score here? And Aussie were lucky on quite a few occasions, that is for sure. Jamie, you want to take this?
Yeah, there was some luck. There were a lot of balls beat the bat, but like we discussed, they could have given another 15-20% extra in terms of just trying to make the batsman play a bit more. Pitch is not necessarily a bowler's pitch. I'm not going to call it a batsman's pitch. It's one of those pitches where you probably would have been rewarded with. I think I'll add one more wicket to what you were saying, Vineet. I think they should have been 5 down had the luck factor been there.
Yeah.
It's not. It's. I know we lost so many overs that I'm still referring to it as a day one pitch, and for all practical purposes, जब 13 over ही कल डाले थे, तो ये day one pitch ही है. You thought the bowlers could have perhaps got a bit more purchase. Not easy to bat on because Steven Smith had to wait a long time to get set in. Labuschagne was made. Yes, they're both struggling for form. McSweeney also was a guy who was looking for runs. So maybe these three guys made it look a bit tougher than it is. I still think it's a pretty decent batting pitch. क्या था par score? Yeah, with Australia, par score should be 50. Get them out as soon as possible. But India ki, see, look, sports fan, like I've been saying, this is a very strange, rare, fun series in that it doesn't fall under conventional logic, or not even conventional logic. It doesn't fall under the logic of every other test series being played this year because it's so high octane, it's so unpredictable. Both teams have strong bowling and shaky batting, and you have to look at each match, each venue is very, very different. I would say, given how poor India have been, and let's face it, India will be batting fourth here. The moment Australia go beyond 215, 225, India's concerns go up a notch, because right now, yes, there was that fantastic second innings in Perth, but we all know कि तीन पारी में से 200 नहीं बन पाए. तो जब 170, 180 जब ये एक संघर्ष बन जाता है एक टीम के लिए, the moment Australia crossed 215, so the power score against any other team, however, is at 325, 330 is good. But क्योंकि इंडिया की बैटिंग बहुत बहुत खराब है and Australia's bowlers are going to have a tremendous time, I believe, if they get a cushion of runs, I'd say इनको 220 से पहले निपटा लो.
220, yeah, that would be good if that happens. But Travis Head remains the biggest worry. Tosbay, and again Jamie and you also mentioned he hasn't looked that convincing in the middle. But then again, without that, 35 deliveries, he scored 20. So he finds a way to score runs. On the other hand, Smith ko bhi aap dekh lo, shell pe gaye 68 of, again something similar, 30 odd runs. But Travis Head tends to get you those runs. And Ujjwal Maurya, one of our again the usual viewers, regular viewers, comes and says same old story. No plans for Head, has gone beyond frustration. फ्रस्ट्रेशन तो हो गया, बट उज्जवल आयल से कि यार अभी तो स्टार्ट ही है, एज आई सेड कि अभी पहला दूसरा ही दिन है, अभी आया ही है हेड. थोड़े बहुत अनकन्विंसिंग लगे भी थे, वो थोड़े बहुत शॉट्स मारे हैं, एज जेमी सेड सम ऑफ द बॉलर बैटर्स हैव रोड देयर लक. बट देन अगेन वो प्लान की बात आती है. What is that ideal plan for Head? I mean, short ball के बारे में डिस्कस किया. Jamie said it has not worked, WTC के अलावा anywhere else. What is that plan for Smith, for Head? क्या हो सकता है वो Head? Because I remember most of the time that Head has gotten out. It has been to the right-handers coming over the wicket. वो बिल्कुल ball अंदर की तरफ लेकर आते हैं. Has to be a good delivery, but you tend to breach. You could breach that defense, there for Travis Head. Do you think there needs to be a sustained effort from all the right-arm bowlers, be it Siraj, be it Bumrah, to come and exploit that angle more and keep on continuing that? Don't give him that area to cut really.
एब्सोल्युटली, आई मीन ऑब्वियस है, सामने से जिस तरह से वो स्ट्रगल कर रहा था आज भी, आई मीन ही वाज नॉट लुकिंग कन्विंसिंग, बट दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ ट्रेविस हेड. That's a lesson for other cricketers, batters, हमारे Indians के लिए कि यार sometimes you have to look ugly when the wicket is tough, when the bowlers are looking charging at you. You have to look ugly. You may not get runs, but you have to survive, and that this guy does all the time. और उसको जब मौका मिलता है, जब सेट हो जाता है, जब इजी हो जाता है, जैसे जेमी भाई ने भी कहा कि बैटिंग जितना इजी होता जाएगा, फिर ट्रेविस हेड के लिए उतना इजी होता जाएगा. He would try to cut his go for his favorite cut shot, and I also enjoy watching Travis Head bat. I don't know why. The only thing is you have to compress, you have to keep it tight, you have to keep charging in. I mean, it's more about Travis Head को तो हमें पता है यार, वो बंदा कैसे भी सर्वाइव करेगा, या तो कट मार के अपना रन्स निकालेगा बाद में. बॉलर्स के लिए ज्यादा टेस्ट है, क्योंकि I mean, you have to keep on bowling that one length, and that is where he was struggling. आप देखोगे, आप इतना कंफर्टेबल क्यों नहीं लग रहा था वो, जब जितना स्टंप्स पे डाले वो, चाहे राउंड द विकेट चाहे ओवर द विकेट, आपको आगे पिच करना है, एंड ट्राई टू प्ले हिम ऑन फ्रंट फुट एज मच एज यू कैन, एंड दैट वन बॉल कुड बी दैट फैक्टर. क्योंकि आई मीन this guy may not have a strong, compact, stylish, good looking defense. That is the key, that is the weakness of Travis Head कि यार कितना अनकंफर्टेबल लग रहा है, वो बैट एंड पैड इतना कन्विंसिंगली नहीं आते, बट he finds a way. So you don't, you have to just keep on attacking on the stumps. You have to put him on the radar कि यार एक लाइन पिच करो, आगे पिच करो, लेफ्ट ओवर द विकेट और राउंड द विकेट, you will get him some way or the other. But it's bowlers hard work from both ends actually. I mean, आपने थोड़ा सा रूम दिया तो वो रिलैक्स हो जाता है, बाहर की बॉल छोड़ देगा. So the trick is to get him ball on the front foot, ask him to play on the front foot, defend करो, runs लेने का मौका मत दो, इतना फुल नहीं कि वो कवर ड्राइव मारे. Just try to play him on front foot, डिफेंस करने की कोशिश करे, वहां पर आपको या तो इनसाइड एज मिलेगा बोल्ड, या तो कॉट बिहाइंड. दैट इज द ओनली वे, अदरवाइज आई डोंट थिंक सो कहीं पर कुछ है अपॉर्चुनिटी.
हाँ वही है कि गुड लेंथ जो है वो जो गुड लेंथ तो कंसिस्टेंटली हिट करना पड़ेगा. लेंथ इज द की विद हेड कि आप उसको उस तरीके से फ्रस्ट्रेट करते रहो कि वो आधा तिरछा शॉट मारने की कोशिश करे एंड देन गेट्स आउट. एंड उज्जवल अगेन कंटिन्यूइंग विद दैट हेड डिस्कशन, हेड हैज ऑलवेज लुक्ड आउट ऑफ शॉट इनिशियली WTC वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल, बट फिर भी मार के चले जाते. एग्जैक्टली द पॉइंट उज्जवल जो ताउस बता रहे थे कि क्योंकि उनके पास वो कॉम्पैक्ट डिफेंस नहीं है ना, आपको लगता है कि यार कभी भी आउट हो जाएगा, बट ही finds a way, he as a batter finds a way to get those runs. और वही चीज है जो इंडिया को प्लग करना होगा कहीं ना कहीं कमिंग इन द सेकेंड इनिंग्स, इन द सेकेंड सेशन. सॉरी, टॉकिंग अबाउट सेकेंड सेशन, जिमी, जस्ट अ बिट ऑन दैट. सिराज के अपने बारे में बात किया था. स्पोर्ट्समैन में another comment, love Nitish Reddy, does everything whatever he is asked for. We would need more of him if Siraj is not, well, of course, if not Jadeja, I think Reddy would be more a lot more if Siraj is not there. And again, Reddy, I was not convinced of Reddy, getting a debut. आप मुझसे maybe April में पूछते कि नीतीश कुमार Reddy would make India debut, I would have said hell no. But here he is. He scored his for at test में highest run getter, highest run scorer थे for India, and here he comes in, bowls tidy overs with as 130 odd click and getting a wicket as well. Reddy, yeah, I mean, could see Reddy playing a lot more important role if Siraj doesn't come up, or Siraj is used sparingly because of any injury concern that he may have.
Absolutely, and I mean we've seen this. Any hard-hitting batsman who's got a bit of flair about him, who can bowl medium pace, does get that fast track system into the Indian team. And I'm on the same page. I mean, you're saying April. I was saying a month ago. I don't see him starting, but hats off to him. He's looked so good at the crease. He understands which bowler to target. Early days, but in your first three innings, first 3 4 innings, when you seem to adapt to what the team has to do, when you seem to read the conditions, when you're batting in a very tough spot, I don't think, मुझे लगता नहीं है वो कि वो उस टाइप के हैं जो ज्यादा लंबे समय टेल के साथ बैटिंग करना चाहेंगे. He'd rather try and stamp himself on the game, and it's very small sample size. He's managed to do that in 4 consecutive innings, 3 of which, like we mentioned many times, he happened to be India's leading run getter in that innings. And then with the ball, I mean, he's not bowled a lot of overs. I don't think all of us expect him to bowl 10 per day. Maybe he'll bowl 10 with Mohammad Siraj unfit, but he's got Mitchell Marsh as his first test wicket. That's a big wicket to get. He's got Marnus Labuschagne. That's double the runs right there. He's not doing anything wrong, but I think fans, especially more than media, should curb their expectations. ये मत सोचो कि वो अगला हार्दिक पांड्या है, अगला ये है. नहीं, वो नीतीश कुमार रेड्डी हैं जो 22 साल के हैं. We know his backstory. We know the sacrifices that his father has made, like lakhs of other fathers and mothers, and he's being rewarded with the India spot. And let's just not get carried away. I personally would be very happy if for the next 2 years he keeps scoring 40, gets to about 50, gets wickets. The moment we start to say, "Yaar, usko 3 wicket क्यों नहीं मिल रहे हैं?" Let's not question him right now, because what sports fan has said is, अभी वो वही कर रहा है जो टीम एक्सपेक्ट करती है. 50 बनेंगे, 50 को 70 बनाएंगे, 70 को 90 बनाएंगे, 90 को 100 बनाएंगे. But that's for a different day, a different tour. We don't know whether he'll play in home cricket. He might just be kept as an overseas specialist. I'm already thinking, अगर ये फॉर्म वो मेंटेन करते हैं तो अगले साल 5 टेस्ट मैच की श्रृंखला में इंग्लैंड में इसका योगदान क्या होगा. He might have a bumper England series, but again, that's too far down the line. Let's just keep it basic with him. Let's enjoy. I've been surprised. You've been surprised. Let's just enjoy what he's doing, and let's not say कि वो 50 क्यों नहीं मार रहे हैं, वो 41 पे आउट क्यों नहीं हो रहे. नहीं, वो जो कर रहा है वो बेस्ट कर रहा है अभी टीम के लिए. And you never know, if a couple more hits go, he might have a 50 in this match. But let's just enjoy, because we've seen Hardik Pandya fall off the radar. We've seen Irfan Pathan fall off the radar. We've seen Ritinder Singh Sodhi. We've seen all those. बहुत आए थे ऐसे यार, but unfortunately for many factors वो आगे जा नहीं पाए. Let's hope that he's a product of a different India, of a different system of the IPL. I think Sunrisers Hyderabad should get a big pat on the back. Pat Cummins should get a big pat on the back for giving him a whole season. देखो, Pat Cummins इस बंदे को पूरा सीजन नहीं देते ना. ये होता आज यहाँ पे नहीं ना. ऑस्ट्रेलियन का हाथ है इसके राइज में, and let's just enjoy it, because मजा आ रहा है इस बंदे को देख के.
Absolutely, and Kapil,
also
on those lines. Just thus, I'll take this Kapil's comment, and before I come to you, Kapil also thinks on those same lines. I think Reddy's bowling will be more effective in England in the summer next year. Was slower pacer is also effective with the swing will be great for him. Of course, वो तो है रहेंगे ही रहेंगे. And also, I mean, just to add my 2 cents to this thoughts before I come to you is that again that comparison चीज हमें कभी कभी करना भी नहीं चाहिए. Like Hardik Pandya is an outlier. He's a all-rounder who bowls at 140 plus, who's a hard hitter. Nitish Reddy, even though he's more looking currently more of a batting all-rounder than a bowling all-rounder, he's giving you those decent overs. It is more like what Mitchell Marsh does, for Australia currently, or what Shane Watson did. His bowling had value, but it was more batting, and you're seeing more of his batting at number 6, which may give you more value in overseas condition, especially in England, especially in Australia, and maybe in India if he gets a chance. In England, of course, with that swing bowling, he may be able to get it, but of course, comparisons थोड़ा रख लेते हैं, as Jamie rightly said, कि थम जाओ, देखते हैं जहां तक वो चल रहा है चल रहा है. Yes, thoughts, your thoughts on this?
Me, one aspect what I like about this guy is he, being a 22-year-old, he still loves that test cricket. The way he puts in those hard yards, the way whenever team requires, whenever team needs him, he delivers. He's not like a no comparison, but he's not like a typical Gen Z who gets carried away. Like Hardik Pandya, massive talent. This guy, but got carried away. Ki my focus is something else, and there was more shosha and everything from other cricketers who just sidelined their test careers and went on to play something else. Here, this guy looks a dark horse for a longer test career, I would say, and he should do that. He should balance it, and I think this guy is hardworking enough, and he knows his cricket. At a very young age, very mature guy. He looks mature the way he's reacted to situations in different conditions in his first series shows. Yeah, this guy wants to do something with the limited talent. He may not have the 140s and the hard hitting skills of Pandya, but he's a different cloth. So that's the beauty of cricketers. Every individual is different. Every person comes up with his own skills, and he's better than many all-rounders who have been tested in the past. Maybe Hardik is a different cricketer altogether, different talent, gifted. Maybe he's not gifted, but in his own way, he's gifted definitely. But he can serve India longer than what others could manage to. All
Hopefully,
rounders I'm talking
hopefully,
about.
hopefully that is the case with Nitish Kumar Reddy. We are just 5 minutes away from the start of second session. I was just looking at the visuals. Mohammad Siraj is taking the field, so hopefully no injury concerns there. Of course, so Siraj is taking the field. Bumrah is also warming up, so you could see both of them there. So no injury concerns, major injury concerns, so to speak. So before we end this, as our usual producer Kanav always says, predictions for the second session, please. So he's making his presence felt, even though he is traveling to Lucknow. Predictions, those for a second session. Wickets to be for how many wickets could fall? How many runs could be scored?
I think 2 to 3 wickets and runs. क्या runs 150 जा सकता है. 160 150. I mean, if Travis head is around, though, I'm expecting 160, 170. Otherwise,
116.
थोड़ा और
Okay,
कम आएगा.
116 the session.
नहीं 160 60. Add 60 to 103, right?
Add
Right now,
60, add 60. Yeah, right. Add 60. And 3 wickets. 3 wickets for the 60
3
expected.
wickets.
Yeah, I mean, that means you're into the tail, you're into the Alex Carey region then. Jamie, your predictions?
Yeah, if you get Travis Head, then I'm going to say you'll take 4 wickets in the session and you'll own that session. Runs, again, Travis Head is the only guy who can change the run rate from here. Smith is going to keep on just looking for time. Mitchell Marsh के पास runs नहीं है, पर वो भी ऐसे player है Travis Head के जैसे. वो कब 40 बन जाएंगे आपको नहीं पता. I would say minimum 4 wickets and about 80 odd runs.
80 odd runs, 4 wickets. Interesting. Pango from YouTube, one of our viewers, is predicting that Australia will be all out for 186. That will be great. So that would mean 6 wickets and another 80 odd runs to be taken. That will be good for Team India if that happens. One bonus prediction I do want to get from you guys as well before we end this. Jamie, how soon do you see Jadeja coming into port?
Like I said, I would like to see him just to get Travis Head maybe a little itchy, maybe try him something different. I would like to see him start, but Rohit traditionally spinners se start nahi karte hain. And that's the period where we've seen that sometimes he makes the wrong decision. I remember Shardul Thakur getting the ball ahead of Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj in South Africa a year and a half ago. And that really shifted the momentum back to South Africa after a good morning session. So I would like to see Jadeja start, but I don't think it'll happen.
Not in the second session, you're thinking. Not even in the second
Start
session, you
many.
would see.
Start
Start,
many.
start.
He'll bowl him. Look,
How-
he's going to have to bowl him because right now you have
Yeah,
to throw everything at Travis' head. But start many करेंगे रोहित मेरे हिसाब से.
exactly. That was
Yeah, nothing different. I mean, yeah, they should. Rohit should start with Jadeja, but then he has not shown any signs. Or I think somewhere in the middle,
appreciation for your
ये तो
beard also, that was why. So we are not collectively, even I don't think that Rohit will start with Jadeja. At least maybe. But लेकिन वही है कि एक चीज head अगर if it starts going, maybe they want to try and see Jadeja and see some different kind of an approach towards him. There's one of our viewers also Ditro Sede saying head will score a 50. देखते हैं होगा नहीं होगा. Ujjwal again continuing with us saying I'm extremely disappointed with easy singles even on good ones even if bowlers want particular field but what's what the captain is for. Well, we've discussed a lot about captaincy. Easy singles, देखो singles की बात यही होती है यार. 11 ही तो प्लेयर्स हैं, कितने ही आप गैप्स प्लग कर सकते हो. सो इट्स नॉट दैट केस एंड आई थिंक रोहित वाज प्रीटी मच ओके विद द कैप्टेंसी हियर. हाँ, वो एक प्रोएक्टिवनेस हमेशा नहीं दिखता है बट दैट्स आई थिंक अ नेवर एंडिंग डिबेट. आई थिंक जेमी we could if we start stitching shows of what Jamie has talked about Rohit Sharma, we could have a feature length movie, but very difficult to really assess on that. Rishikesh Singh again continuing to say that fielding looks rusty. Like there were couple of these things. I mean, beat Siraj, beat Akashdeep, as I said, Bumrah ke bhi couple of those clumsy takes they down at the boundary rope. पता नहीं क्यों था, but I wouldn't say rusty at all. I mean, there were quite a few those जो edges जो थे slip cotton जो gully fielders है, they stopped quite a few deliveries there. So I wouldn't say rusty, Rishikesh. Let's see the second session किस तरीके से होता है. So that's about it from us. Thank you all for joining in for all our viewers. And thank you, Tawz and Jamie, for your inputs as well. So, yeah, Australia would start with 104 for 3. Let's hope India takes 2-3 wickets. And for Australia's sake, they will be hoping Travis Head really goes on, continues to remain to be a headache for Team India. So, we'll be back with the Stumps live. And for all the viewers who joined in here, please do join back us for the stump session as well. Taos, Jamie, and Animesh Vishwas would be there for the stumps session. We'll take your comments and everything, and we will have a detailed analysis and discussion regarding a day 2 as well. So till then, see you and enjoy the game. Thank you.